Well, hello there. This is Circle30, a former member and YouTuber of North Remembers, coming at you with an extremely special episode to commemorate no less than the North clan family's 3rd anniversary. I and around 50 other alumni of the family were contacted by none other than Karim, a former North leader, to come and take part in a friendly 50v50 clan war between us and current members of the North family clans. As you can see, the North Noobs, as they were known, brought a victory against the OGs, but the original gangsters say they didn't really try, and as you may have noticed, they didn't actually clear the Town Hall 9s. They say they couldn't be bothered, which is all the more reason for a rematch in the future. Meanwhile, the Noobs, on top of their game, managed to not only clear the North OG 9s, but a big shout out to Cosmo of North Remembers for managing to triple the top Town Hall 11 on the map. It is with great regret that I cannot show you this replay because the war base in question is still in use, but nevertheless, I have a wide variety of attacks to show you from both sides, starting with Bigfoot at number 8 for North Noobs attacking Drogon. Now, the first thing you will notice with this raid is that the comp is not very standard for a Town Hall 10. He has 48 minions with him. Now, the game plan is as follows. As you will notice, all the wizard towers on this base are in the upper right half of the base. So what Bigfoot is going to do is use a Queen Walk to take out every single one of those wizard towers, as well as hopefully the left-hand Inferno tower, and then the base will be ripe for the taking with a minion swarm. It's not quite mass minions, I suppose. I thought it was 60 you needed for a mass minion raid. That's the last I heard. Maybe that's wrong. But anyway, Bigfoot is going to start his Queen Walk and use raged wall breakers to attempt to get him 2 layers into the base. He fails there, but he'll try again in a minute. Raged wall breakers, probably one of the most underused strategies in Clash of Clans. It can definitely get you 2 layers into the base, at least as well as a jump spell can. Anyway, Bigfoot instead opting to bring an extra rage spell, a good idea to be sure, because at the moment his queen is under fire from 2 Expos while being tanked by a lava hound. Nevertheless, he manages to overcome this, poisons the lava pups, and the queen will continue on her way. Meanwhile, more wall breakers attempt to get the queen into the 2nd layer, and this time they manage it. One wall breaker attempts to break the 3rd layer, but he is too weak. Alas, a jump spell will suffice. Meanwhile, a baby dragon is placed at the top of the map to ensure that the queen goes down. Had Bigfoot not done that, probably the queen would have gone shopping, because that's what queens like to do. Instead, the queen continues on her merry way, and Bigfoot decides that it's time to start the minion phase of the attack. So he drops a lava hound and hastes a few loons into the multi-target Inferno tower just to protect the minions, and then while the queen is chewing up that air sweeper and eventually going on to the Inferno tower, the minions are just eating the base. With the wizard towers down and the multi-target Inferno towers being dealt with pretty quickly, the only thing really that's left to hurt the minions is the air defences, and it can only shoot them down one at a time. And he has, as I say, 48 of them, so this base is doomed at this point. Congratulations to Bigfoot for thinking to use minions against a Town Hall 10. That's really something that only Mathos Pathos would have thought of in the past. A very creative use of a queen charge there to pave the way for an unorthodox assault, so congratulations to Bigfoot. All the units converging on the last few structures, and that is 3 stars. Moving on, our next raid is Superman attacking Mathos Pathos. Now, Superman is using a strategy that was notorious back in my day for wrecking Town Hall 9 bases all over the place. It's Stoned Hobo, no less. But the reason I've selected this replay to show to you is really the way that Superman manipulates his golems to get himself into the base and set himself up a massive funnel. In particular, that golem at the top of the map is destined to go round the side of the base, and some may argue that that's a waste of the golem. I am here to argue that that is not the case. That golem is going to tank 4 point defences and kill 2 mortars on its way around the side of the base, meanwhile making way for those newfangled level 6 wizards to create an enormous funnel. Look at the base now. There's absolutely no way that the heroes and the bowlers are going to go anywhere except into that massive compartment with the wizard tower in it. One more jump spell will give Superman access to pretty much the whole of Mathos Pathos' base. A poison spell goes down to deal with the CC troops, and it's almost time to start hogging, I would have thought, King ability gets used to prolong his life, and there we go, the first Hog Rider appears attacking the Wizard Tower. That would have been really smart if the cannon hadn't been there to target it, but I have made similar mistakes in the past. Here come more Hogs to support that first Lonely Rider, and by this stage in the raid there's only a thin ring of structures left that could possibly stop them. That's oh so typical of Stoned Hobo, and Superman has a swag spell to spare. He's absolutely wrecked Mathos Pathos' base, which is a shame. MP, as we like to call him, was in the north from the very beginning. By the time I was in the clan, he'd already been in the north for 18 months. He's a crazy OG dude, so really nice to see him taking part. From here, of course, it's all a formality, and while we clean up, we get to stare at the number of troops and spells that Superman did not deploy. He has a Queen ability and 3 Hogs in hand. That's pretty impressive. Nicely done. Takes me back remembering the days when bowlers were all you ever put in a Town Hall 9 clan castle. As a base builder, I didn't really enjoy that very much. Moving swiftly onwards, our next raid is going to come from Gerben of North Noobs, and he's going to do a Quattro Lalo raid on this base. I can't actually remember what Four Hounds is called. But anyway, this funnel is beautiful. As you can see, this base has been set up specifically to prevent people from getting at the Queen cheaply from the Queen side of the base. But that is exactly what Gerben is going to do. With a couple of baby dragons, a few balloons to get the attention of the Queen, and a well-placed poison spell to catch both the defending Archer Queen and the clan castle troops coming at the heroes. King ability is popped, the Queen falls in behind to shoot the clan castle troops, and then do what she does best and go shopping. In the meantime, the base is just about prepped for the Lalo, but here Gerben does something interesting. Rather than Lalo in the typical rotary fashion that I was used to when I played Clash of Clans, Gerben has decided to do basically the whole base at the same time for loon pathing reasons, which I think is fair enough, as you're about to see. You know, there's only about a minute left in this raid and all the defences are still up, but this is sort of tribute to the power of this attacking style. Gerben's going to take out most of the defences in one fell swoop, and all the balloons that he has left are going to converge on that northern corner of the base very nicely. I suppose it's worth mentioning at this point that most of the OGs I talked to were very happy with the balance at Town Hall 9, which is something I was not expecting, to be fair. I have had my fair share of bad balance change updates, but it's nice to see that so many different attacks are being used. There have been a lot of dragon attacks this war. There's this witch slap nonsense. I don't really get that. God forbid I even saw a P.E.K.K.A. in there somewhere. Gerben demonstrating that he is too swaggy for Firelord Sozin with that triple haste spell swag. Nicely done there. Wrecked that base. Moving on to the next attack, this will be Strodor of North OGs attacking Lisa. We've switched sides now, we're going to take a look at some of the North OG attacks. And the first OG attack is an OG strategy, it's Shattered Go-Ho. Oh yeah. Probably the best decision Strodor made in this attack was literally his choice of attack. One of the most difficult things in Town Hall 9 these days is literally choosing an attack, because, as I said a minute ago, there's so many different attack strategies you can choose from at Town Hall 9, and Shattered Go-Ho is just as good as any of them. The idea, of course, send 2 golems with heroes behind it to the Queen, and then hog the rest of the base. Simple as that. Strodor currently demonstrating to North Noobs that funnels are overrated. He has failed to funnel the right side of his base, and the heroes have gone shopping, but fear not, a lone wizard behind the golem on the inside of the base has stepped up to the job of taking out the defending Queen, and as a result, the heroes, as luck would have it, are in prime position. Oh, sorry, no, I take that back. Strodor completely planned that, obviously. The heroes, with the king activated, they're in a prime position to tank the hogs. Here they come into the north side of the base, and one of the reasons that this attack strategy was chosen so well for this base was because of that central clump of defences in the middle. There's barely any room for spring traps in there, so under a couple of heals, hogs are going to absolutely have their way with this base, and that's exactly what's going on now. Strodor has 2 heals left in the bag for like 3 defences. I think he's going to drop one of them, but does he need to? Yeah, probably he does, just to be on the safe side, because the king's still up, but that is still 3 spell space worth of swag. that Strodor has pulled off on Lisa there. Most impressive. An excellent demonstration that really all you need to win at Town Hall 9 is a ton of hogs. However, I do object to the following. Strodor is clearly an OG because he has swagged his spells in the wrong place. They should have gone on the clan castle. Tut tut. I'm joking, of course. That was great. Right. Moving on. I have an extremely established figurehead of the North family up next, no less than Nighttime himself. For those who, for some reason, do not know, Nighttime is the founder of the North family, so I thought it only appropriate to show one of his 2 3-star attacks this war. Given that he hasn't played in over a year, I find that pretty impressive. And once again, Nighttime is using Shattered Goho. Again, he's chosen this attack extremely well for the base. He's going to show us how it's done too. Now, one of the things that NR Nighttime is famous for, both in and out of clan wars, is patience. And there is no better demonstration of the patience that Nighttime has here. His king is not deployed. He's going to wait. He's going to keep waiting until the enemy queen decides to jump out of the wall, which it inevitably will, because she knows that eventually she's going to lock onto that golem, which will walk round. And only then is he going to deploy his king, who's going to shoot after the defending queen like a queen-seeking missile, I don't know, and bop her on the head. And now the king is going to take over the tanking of the queen while the poison deals with the lava pups. An absolutely exquisite use of the heroes there by Nighttime. It's just about time to start hogging, and there they are, in 2 streams from the top of the base. Again, no real need for surgical, just like before the great hog nerf of 2014, where surgical didn't really exist. Just spam your hogs and 3-star. I'm joking. Healing the hogs through the Barbarian King and putting in a few more hogs to support the main group as they approach the mortar farm. That's a new one on me. Anyway, so because of the diligence of Nighttime's kill squad attack, he has afforded himself 3 heals, and that is going to be more than enough to get the hogs through the remaining portion of this base. There are skeleton traps attacking the hogs, but the hogs outnumber them by about 4-1, so I envisage that it's not going to be much of a problem. Again, giant bomb, 2017 meta hogs have their way with them, and suddenly this base has no defenses left, and it's just a matter of cleanup. Nighttime returning in style, the OG guy with the OG strategy returning to get a 6-pack on these noobs. Nicely done, NR Nighttime. So, before I go, I've just about got time to show you a couple of Town Hall 10 attacks from the OGs, the first of which is going to be Bob Monell versus Nika22 of North Noobs. The game plan is very simply as follows. A queen charge down from the top for the 2 right-hand ADs and the queen, and then a Lalo on the rest of the base. Here we go. A very efficient funnel set up by the wizard on that army camp, using the fact that the army camp is just so big, so he can just make his funnel like that. The healers go down on the queen, and the queen moves on to the first AD. One of the things that really astonishes me about, in fact, all the OG players is that even after anywhere up to 2 years away from the game, they can still come out and pull off anything up to a 10v10 triple. I find that astonishing. Anyway, the king has made an appearance in the fight here to tank the queen from a couple of cannons and indeed some wall breakers that he's using to get his queen into that elongated compartment. Just one more wall breaker and he should be able to get in there. And meanwhile, the king goes off on his merry way, destroying buildings, going shopping, and eventually reaching his death. Meanwhile, Hound Loon has come out of the clan castle. Bob drops a poison accordingly and a rage to make sure the queen gets through that hound before the balloon reaches the queen and kills her. That's happened to me so many times, so I'm glad someone is more on it than I am. Queen deals with the CC, and it's only a matter of time before Bob unleashes the Lalo portion of this attack on the rest of this base. The Queen is not going to die. She has another rage and her ability in hand to help her get through the Inferno, and really only half the base is going to be left once this Queen charge is finished, so a very effective Queen walk there from Bob. Meanwhile, he drops haste spells at the top of the map in preparation for some balloons to come and take down the top Inferno tower. I don't know about you, but those balloons seem to switch target halfway to that cannon. I don't know. What do you think? Post your thoughts in the comments. I'm not about that life, don't worry. I mean, you can if you want, but I'm not going to make you. Anyway, This Lalo is progressing rather smoothly, I must say. Bob has a hound still up, and he's dropping in a few tail-end loons to help the main pack of loons path around to those final few defences. Meanwhile, the Queen is doing what she does best, which is hitting a wall. Glad to see that some things never change. The balloons take down the final few defences, and here it is just a formality. Tons of minions and lava pups at the top of the map taking care of that poor barbarian king, who is completely powerless to do anything about this attack. Someone could at least have given him a javelin, but alas, no one has, and Bob walks away with 3 stars. Very well executed, as with any 10v10 3-star. Now, Our final raid of the day is by none other than Cody Couch of North OGs. Now, Cody is the subject of some memes, but we love him really. He has an unmistakable character, shall we say, and he's okay at this game. Here he is doing a Queen Charge Lalo against J-Max. And his strategy, much though we'd all hate to admit it, is rather intelligent. He's going to start by bringing a Queen Charge down the upper right side of the base, and he puts a minion on the Dark Elixir storage and deploys a Valkyrie just when he knows that the Tesla would otherwise pop up and fry his wall breakers in order to save them. It's a very efficient use of troop space, and indeed the minion that is on the Dark Elixir storage is going to prevent the Queen from stalling herself on it, and she's going to go on and complete chewing that long open compartment down that much faster because of it. Now, another clever thing Cody's done in this raid is split the base into sort of 2 halves. An upper left half with all the air defences, and there's a lower right half with no air defences. And there's kind of a break with only Inferno Towers in the middle. So what Cody is going to do is Queen Charge down the left, take out all the air defences, and then sort of separately Lalo up the right. He drops a golem to take some of the fire off his Queen Charge, and the Queen continues to chew down that west compartment, and eventually she will get all 4 air defences. Cody continues to encircle the base, picking off lone targets on the left with some wizards that really aren't going to be hit by very much because there's only a mortar there. A jump spell goes down to assist the Queen towards the first Inferno Tower, and it's getting towards Lalo time. Cody's going to use the King to tank some Archer Towers to make his hounds survive that much longer. Oh, forgive me, there are no hounds in this raid, it's just a balloon attack. Alright. So, he drops the King, pre-drops some haste spells, and in come the balloons, and this raid is going to be over faster than you can say Larry is a pleb. He's going to light up the bottom of the base with haste spells, rage spells, a heal spell comes down to protect the loons from that wizard tower farm of death thing to trap mid-HP units like balloons, and the Queen is going to tail round and take out that final Inferno Tower, and all of a sudden, the base is dead. A pretty impressive raid there by Cody Couch. Very nice to have you back, taking part, as with everyone, in this war. So, that's about it from me. Once again, a massive shout out to Karim for arranging this event, and my congratulations to North Noobs on their victory. I hope you enjoyed this blast from the past, hearing my well-spoken voice and watching some shattered Goho raids amongst all this witch slap stuff that I don't really understand. So, until next time, whenever that may be, this is Circle30 reminding you to stay frosty.